So in the previous video we confirmed and we came to a conclusion that air supports burning or combustion. So now you would have guessed what is the meaning of this slide. In order to put off a fire, the supply of air, that is the supply of oxygen, has to be stopped, and that can be achieved by putting a cloth or a blanket, which is generally called as fire blanket, on anything that burns, and that is what is shown in this video. Because when you're going to put the blanket or some thick cloth on a substance which is burning, it immediately cut off the supply of air, so that any substance that is burning cannot burn anymore. Once the oxygen supply is stopped, the burning also stops. Coming to food and combustion, we all know that food is the fuel of our body, and what happens? The food, whatever we eat, is getting digested and the nutrients are getting absorbed, and this is happening with the help of the process called respiration. So during respiration, the digested food like glucose is broken down by reaction with oxygen in the body cells to produce carbon dioxide, water and heat energy, and this is also nothing but a sort of combustion, and this heat energy is utilized by our body. Thus, respiration is a kind of slow combustion of food which takes place in the body to produce heat energy. And all of us have learnt about iron and rusting. We have all seen the brown rust which is present on the iron nails and other iron objects, and we know the conditions required for rusting is presence of oxygen and moisture. So the rust is formed when iron slowly combines with oxygen which is present in the air in the presence of moisture, and it gets oxidized to form iron oxide, and this process of rusting of iron is also an example of slow combustion. And even this rusting of iron produces or liberates a very little amount of heat, but which cannot be felt by us, but they do not give light. Coming to nuclear reaction, you may wonder what is the need of nuclear reaction in this chapter, because we know sun is nothing but a ball of fire. Then is the sun is producing the fire or producing the light and heat by combustion? The answer is no. The sun produces heat and light, and the heat and light which is produced in the sun is not because of the ordinary combustion, and it takes place because of a different process called nuclear reaction. Actually, in the sun, heat and light are produced due to the nuclear reaction, in which hydrogen is converted into helium with the release of heat and light, which is entirely different from ordinary combustion. Coming to combustible and non-combustible substances. Apply a lighted matchstick to a piece of paper. You can see that the piece of paper starts burning. We say then that the piece of paper burns and the piece of paper has undergone combustion. Take a piece of stone and apply the same lighted matchstick to it. Will you see or will you find the stone burning? No, the stone will not burn, and we say that the piece of stone does not undergo combustion. This means that all the substances around us do not burn or do not undergo combustion. So there are two types of substances based on their ability to get combusted or on the ability of undergoing combustion, and they are combustible substances and non-combustible substances. Those substances which can burn are called as combustible substances. In other words, those substances which can undergo combustion are called combustible substances. For example, some of the combustible substances are paper, cloth, straw, dry straw, that is dry grass, cooking gas, CNG, compressed natural gas, kerosene oil, wood, charcoal, coal, cow dung, cakes, etc. A combustible substance is also called as fuel, from which we get energy. Those substances which do not burn, that is which do not undergo combustion, are called non-combustible substances. Examples are stone, glass, cement, brick, soil, sand, water, etc. From this discussion, we can conclude that some of the substances around us are combustible, whereas others are not combustible.